And then I just decided, like, maybe that was the best option, to just tell them, or, send her to tell them that that's where we were. And, and that catches you up, really. And then we walked through the wall.
Right. I don't know how much she actually told them. I'll have to resummon her. It'll take me a little while.
Yeah. I'm glad you weren't hurt.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm honestly a little shocked that ended without a fight.
Me too. It was starting to feel like it might go that way.
Or should I be me 4 and you're me 3? And I point to Brula. Yeah, okay, sorry. Me 4.
We can all collectively be us 4, I think. I really got the impression he wasn't going to let us out of his sight.
Yeah.
Or let the item go once it was near.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know where the item was, first of all. And second of all, who says he did let us out of his sight? And I look around for the cat.
Yeah. That's a good
No, I
point.
mean like physically out of his presence. I didn't think he was going to let it leave. And also, I think he did know where it was the whole time. He knew you were at the horse stables checking up on our horses without us telling him.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he had someone following you or something.
It probably the cat.
Probably the cat.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he said that I'm terrified to say the name of the cat, but I think he said that he's able to see things through her. Keep an eye on stuff.
Yeah.
That's why he wanted to send her with us in the first place. Although, if you ask me, he seemed rather intimidated by that cat.
Yes. Yes, he did.
He did seem kind of freaked out, didn't he?
It almost felt like the cat was calling the shots and he was along for the ride.
In my experience,
to
cats
say.
can be like that sometimes.
Suppose that is your average house cat. So what do we do now?
Well, I'd like to rest a little bit. Maybe get some kind of snack or drink.
Brula,
I don't
are
know,
you sure
that whole
you
thing made my tummy kind of a little rumbly.
Brula, are you sure you are not a cat? I just want to sleep and eat.
There's a good chance I might be, actually.
Okay.
Part cat, I could see it. Definitely need a nap.
Is
Some
everyone
point.
okay, though? And, like, Alinys will be kind of fussing over everyone, just checking that nobody's injured or worse for wear, even though we didn't get into a fight. I think it's maybe just how she busies herself.
Just my upset stomach. You guys weren't really gonna actually help him, were you?
Help is a strong word. I didn't see another way out of that room.
Right.
That's fair. There was, multiple of him. And only a couple of you. At least it seems like he has a lot of power.
Yeah. I worry that Rio's right, that there wouldn't have been another way out. One of us wouldn't have left that room if we had tried to fight him. At least one.
Well, that's only part of it. I'm also... What if he's right?
What? What do you mean?
I mean, if he bargained to have an item created and paid for it, and then we showed up and took it, aren't we the thieves?
No,
Isn't-
because Alden never gave it to him. Alden made it, it was his, and then Alden had different wishes for it.
I don't think he has good intent, Rio. He doesn't seem like an honest person.
Yeah,
s-
that.
Suppose you're right. I don't know. The stuff that he said to me in the holding cell kind of got to me. Like, I don't know, if the three of you all died,
Yeah.
I would break a lot of rules and probably be willing to do just about anything to undo it. So I guess I
Alinys
kind of...
walks away at that point and looks out a window.
I guess I kind of
we're-
relate to his position somewhat.
Well, okay. Sure, fair. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we would do for each other. And my very big eyes dart to Brula and then back. And, I look constipated for a fraction of a second, and then I continue. You know, there's a lot of things we would do for each other, but we're not murderers and thieves. We're adventurers. We try to help people where we can. So I think there's an inherent difference there.
You're right. There is.
I think I saw something out the window, but maybe nothing. But at least I think maybe she isn't in the room with us.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
and-
who is she?
The cat.
Oh,
I
did
don't.
he ever tell us its name? I was so distracted in that conversation, I forgot.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I want to say it. I feel like maybe that's like, you know, calling to her.
That's true. Maybe we don't want to invite her in. Okay, yeah, maybe don't even tell me. I don't want to know.
Right, okay. And just to be clear, I don't want to give her permission or invite her in, ever.
Right.
Me either.
Yeah.
Also, I think if something horrible happened to me, I would want you to go back in time to try to save me. Not that we even could go back in time, because it doesn't work that way. But what if it could? What if, like, I don't know,
Well,
one
what
or
if
two
it
tweaks?
does? Yeah, what if it does work that way, though? Especially if that's what it was supposed to be designed to do in the first place, it might just be that we're not operating it right.
Ha! I get out the goggles, and I would just like to spend some time fucking with the lost second.
Okay, we'll come back to
Studying
that in a second
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
have
just
I
leave
have
me
a separate thing for you.
Oh.
I'm terrified.
Do you want it now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Never.
No. Delay that as much as possible.
Okay.
Are there blinds on the windows?
Yeah, I don't think it's blinds. It would be like
Yeah, like curtains or whatever.
a
and
little
something.
single pull curtain. Yeah.
I think Alinys will just pull it most of the way closed and leave a little bit of like natural light coming in, like it's some kind of like way of protecting them, even though it won't do anything. Kind of like whenever you pull the blankets over you to hide from the monsters, even though that doesn't mean anything.
No, I agree.
What do you
She'll
mean it
walk
doesn't
back to
mean
the room.
anything?
Yeah.
I tuck my feet in every night.
There's magic in this world. Maybe it does work.
Maybe it does. And I walk back to the group.
Are you okay, Alinys?
I feel a little
some
uneasy.
If you've got thoughts on the subject, now's the time to say it.
Oh, it's just... Like you said, what he talked about got to me too. I know he doesn't have good intentions, but I can understand how he might feel the way he feels. I can only imagine what I would be willing to do if you all got taken away from me.
Right. I'm conflicted because I understand that and I kind of empathize with him somewhat. But at the same time, like Twoof said, they're not good people.
No, I know.
And it's probably not wise to have a lot of empathy for, people who would happily kill you.
That's true.
He said that, they were already thieves and murderers beforehand. They're not the kind of people we should be empathizing with, I suppose. It's just hard not to.
Yeah. I don't know what to do.
I'm also at a loss for, what would we do with the lost second?
That's a very powerful thing. Like you were saying, We probably haven't even begun to understand what it can really do.
No, you're right. I hope we can figure it out.
Maybe I do this. Maybe.
Well, if Twoof can figure out how to work the thing properly, that'd be great. But if not, we also have, the person who need not be named that we're supposed to locate. We could try to do that, although I don't even know how we get started doing that either, to be honest.
I kind of hoped that maybe when we were talking about trying to figure out how to use it, maybe he actually knew someone, but I don't think so.
He might, but remember there's an enchantment on that secret and we're not supposed to say it out loud, so I didn't want to even bring it up.
Yeah. How are we gonna find this person?
That's a great question. Brad, can I, because it's been several sessions now, can I try to think back in character for a recap of what we were told about the item master?
Yeah, let me see what I literally verbatim have for our opening sort of episode here, but you were told by Alden literally just to find the item master.
He'll know what to do. But in terms of the curse, we know that we can't really bring it up. So I guess we just have to hope they find us.
Yeah. The 12 gold pieces said that there's only a few people that know who the item master is. There's a complex enchantment surrounding them, this being. You cannot know about them until you learn about them from another. It's a really greatly guarded secret. You pretty much have to observe the same custom. Otherwise, the enchantment might reshape itself into a curse. The item master is in Sonantor, and essentially, the fact that Alden invoked the name of the item master seemed to allow 12 gold pieces to sort of part with the understanding that it must be really important if that's what's going on. And then he gave you a bunch of money and sent you on your way. But that was basically it.
Okay. I don't suppose either of you have a spell to communicate back to Runenstein. We could ask 12 gold pieces for guidance.
Not at the moment, I don't.
Well, you could ready it for tomorrow, right?
I could. At least then maybe...
add that to your to-do list, I suppose? In case what other options we come up with aren't enough. Having some guidance from the person who sent us on this wild goose chase might be helpful. How's it looking, Twoof?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm really. I haven't learned anything new. I'll keep trying.
Would you like to?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh. I can.
Well, here's what I offer the group. I offer you that 7 days passes to allow Twoof to really investigate this thing. And we'll do a little bit of downtime, but it'll be a little fluid because there are some other moving parts going on. So basically at any point you can begin this 7-day investigation, Twoof. And it will essentially, I'm going to give you the option to try and learn a great deal about it and see if at the end of this you're able to interface with the device in a new way. But you have to like really sit down. It's essentially just downtime.
No, I totally get it. I hyper focus and I forget to eat, and that's fine. I'm fine with that, but I don't want to put anybody in danger. Yeah, fair enough. In this, we are the same. Twoof would have done this anyway for Brula. So
In that same time, we can pause at different junctures and
Yeah.
you can check things and run some checks and ensure, you can do the stuff that you're considering doing. Maybe seeing if you can contact someone in New Runenstein, or there are some other checks here you can do, like you're paranoid that that they're after you, and that's not to say that they aren't. So we can do some checks.
Well, I'm
there.
not leaving the room, so it's fine.
Right. But presumably, in that time, while you're hyper focusing, the others can make some checks to just ensure that,
To keep me safe. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to think about how wanted I am or that mistake. I would rather avoid that. Avoid thinking about it. So yeah, I'll just throw myself into the last second if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here wondering what the other three, what other tasks could the three of us accomplish within a week of downtime?
Yeah, this is pretty much essentially what I'm going to give you is 7 days of a bit like what we did with the fast traveling. You did 7 days where we just blitzed through it. 7 days of downtime here. Is there anything that you want to attempt or prepare or investigate yourselves, and or do you stay in this chalet? Bear in mind this chalet is pretty expensive, remember, as well.
True.
So
That's the main thing. I think we should move. Yeah.
You can look into several things, but in a broad sense, is there anything you want to consider doing? And we'll essentially start this process of the 7 days of the of what predominantly is a mechanic that is designed for Twoof to be able to really try to understand this thing, instead of it being like these quick checks while you're on the move, and you're actually able to sit down for the first time without feeling too pressured. You've still got pressures of other things, but up until this point you've pretty much constantly been on the move, and you can do some legitimate mechanical checks on this thing. I just put it to you as a table. What do you want to do? How do you want to approach it? I'll remind you of the price of this place as well. It is so you are in the Glassleaf Inn, which is on the second level, and it is 2 gold pieces per night for a small room. That is it is a double bed, or it rooms 2. So you two separate beds. You could, I guess you probably could all fit in it if you wanted to. But again, this is a slightly upper class establishment. Then you have the chalets, and the chalet is 25 gold pieces per night. So if you wanted to move, you have it for this night, right? Or did you pay for it the night before? What did I write down?
We paid for 2 or 3
already-
nights, the same
yeah,
as we
we
did with
paid
the
for a
horses.
couple
It was for
nights,
this one
yeah.
because you immediately came back,
Yeah.
bought the room, and that was when Quill, which was Nisus in
Yeah.
disguise, came and knocked for you. So you have this night.
We got a couple nights.
Did you pay for 2 this time?
I think it was. I want to say it was 3. I think you paid for a couple, didn't you?
How much was it
Rhea?
per night again?
25.
25.
We could just do the math. Ugh, who am I?
Annoyingly, I wrote it down last time because you were in Chalet 33, and I put 2 nights. But this one, you're in Chalet 54, and I didn't write how many nights you paid for. I think because we were kind of doing 3 things at once with the horse conversation as
true.
well. Yeah, I have no memory of this. This
It
is
was either 2 or 3 days. We just flip a coin and carry on from there. It's a matter of only 25 gold, right? We
Yeah.
have... How much money are we down to? That's the next question.
That is a good question.
Well,
Yeah.
if anyone remembers, let us know. But I guess if PB says it's 3, it's 3.
I think
said
it
2
was
or
3 because I think
can't
we had
remember.
150 and we spent 75.
Okay. So we'll
I
say
think.
3 nights of your 7 are paid for then. So you've got this chalet for 3 nights. I guess we'll do the first 3 days and then we can come back to this
Yeah.
if you
Uh-huh.
want to
Sure.
calculate your funds. So, Twoof, the first part of this thing is 2 days worth of just, essentially it's you
Living with it.
fucking with it and messing with it and looking at it and studying it. So there's no mechanical thing here, but you have to spend, 2 days worth of downtime looking into this before you can make your first check.
That's
yeah.
totally fine. I'm totally happy to do that. Also, just to be clear, I'm totally happy to just sit in my room for the whole 7 days. However, I think it narratively might be very cool since I used to work here on the 4th floor. Is there a chance that there's something in my old master's shop that is probably boarded up by now that would make this easier or better? I just think narratively it's cool if I have to sneak back into where I used to work.
Pretty high risk.
Far more
4th floor
dangerous.
is the worst place you can go. The 4th floor of Spire Thale is easily the most heavily guarded area in the entire place. I guess roll me a history check.
Okay. 18.
Okay, roll me a d20 as well.
That's a D12. Sorry, I have claws. Okay. 18. Wow.
Nice.
Same number.
The appraisers have an astonishing amount of things, including just simple tools as well as unique tools and magical tools that would certainly make this process easier. It would make it would be the if you didn't have the goggles, you would need this stuff. You would need it to go up
So
there.
they would just make it easier.
With the goggles, you suspect that what you need is just simple tools that you would probably be able to get just in and about Sonantor's first 3 levels, rather than risking going up to the 4th level.
Look at the GM trying to save us from our own decisions.
Well,
so nice.
an 18 and an 18. So this was an 18 to just
decisions.
give you.
Oh,
this
don't
was just
worry. There's a reason I was
history check
asking.
for your appraisal, and then the second 18 was sort of my fate dice
Okay,
of
I'll
like
take it
how
from
you think
here.
it will go. So you probably do need some more tools. You'll need a set of like simple tools, of artificing tools, little small screwdrivers and things that would allow you to hold it to a bench, maybe like a vice or something, just to hold it in place because it is kind of moving around a bunch.
I have jeweler's tools. Does that work, or artificer specifically?
That would help. Yeah, I think those
Okay.
would be fine. I don't think they're too different. I think a jeweler's tools. I don't think that there is such a thing as artificer's tools. So in terms of the actual tool sets that you can buy, I think that would be pretty much what you need. Beyond that, it's probably a greater risk than it's worth, unless you were able to steal some very unique magical artifacts. And again, like you said, you're not sure if that place is even open or if it's boarded up or what the situation is up there. But the appraisers on the 4th floor would have some really high quality things. It's just you kind of already have everything that you need really to do the equivalent job with the goggles and the jeweler's tools.
Last question. Do I know, I feel like I could do this, it's just going to take time, but do I suspect that if I had those, it might take me less time? Or I might be able to do it more efficiently?
Maybe if you found some really specific, incredible, magical items, like literally on the same level as the goggles, some Vianthrosite enhanced equipment. Or
otherwise just simple tools would do, right?
Yeah, and currently this is you on day 1, so you have only got the knowledge up to now of what this device is. It might be that by the time you do some of this research, you'll come to the conclusion that you do want some other specific tools. But at this current state, for what you're about to do for the first few days at least, of just really try and study this thing carefully and slowly and at your own pace. You're sitting in front of like just an alien thing right now.
No, I
so
know.
you're not sure what tools you might want that would potentially enhance your process. So for the intent of studying this thing for your first few days, probably not worth the risk. But you could open yourself up to more specific items if you start to understand how this thing works later on.
Okay, last question. This was for Brula. Did you look any better? Because after the lost second sort of activated, you looked really fucked up. Do you still look like that now? Like sick?
Yeah, maybe not as quite as fucked up, but definitely like there's something off about her pallor. You can for sure see it.
Okay, then I only care about getting, like I want to do this quickly. I think I would potentially be stupid. But what I will do is I will say, half the way through day 2, y'all, I think I'm all of a sudden I'm just like, ugh. You know, it would be incredibly helpful is another set of tools, maybe from, an artificers. Boy, I wish I had some extra tools, maybe even
Twoof.
some magical ones. What?
Twoof.
Yes?
I'm standing right here. Just tell me what you want.
Do you think you could go to the 4th floor and just see if you could maybe sneak into where I used to work and maybe just bring back some tools?
Or I could, just buy you some tools legally and not get arrested for sneaking into a whatever it was you worked at.
You could do that, but also I know that there might be something good in the back of where I used to work.
Okay.
I'm just throwing it out there. It's just an idea.
Like what? What is it you want me to get?
Well, I could go for, truthfully, I could go for a loop. I could go for, one of the glass, devices that, my master had. Really just like, there's actually a kit in the back that I know was there because he didn't take it with him, that he used to take with him all the time. It's in like a little leather bag. If you could just get me that bag, that would be perfect. It's just an option. Just saying it would be helpful. And then I'm gonna go back to working on it.
Sorry, where did you work? Am I like breaking into a
Upstairs,
government
4th
building?
floor, down the corridor from the stairs.
No, I don't mean physically where. I mean like what is the what industry did you work for? How dangerous is this? Are you asking me to break into the Sonnenguard headquarters or?
Not quite, but sort of adjacent. Adjacent.
Okay, but I kind of don't like how long it's taking you to answer this. Where did you work?
Well, I mean, I worked on the administrative floor, so there are some things that you wouldn't be able to go near. However, a lot of venturers would come up to that floor to get their things appraised. I worked in the appraiser section.
The appraiser section,
you
okay.
You could wander up there and just look around. You know what you could do? You could see if my master's shop's even open.
Okay. I think we have two very different mindsets here. You seem to want me to do the exact opposite of what I want to do. I don't want to go up there and wander around. I want to know exactly what I'm looking for and where I'm going.
Yeah, okay, so up the stairwell, take the down the main hallway, and then left, right, left,
Well,
and then it's going to be the 3rd door in.
Okay.
And then once you're in, you want to go all the way to the back room, left, and in the corner by the desk with the lamp, the blue one, not the green one, will be a leather bag. You want to get the leather bag.
I think Alinys is sitting at the back, has just made tea, and is sitting next to Brula with a cup of tea, watching this. Like, Twoof, maybe you should draw a little map.
Well, I mean, I don't need a. You could just write down the address, and I think that will be fine. I'm trying to. What kind of business is this? Is it normal for me to just walk in, or am I going to be accosted by people the moment I show up because I don't work there?
Well, as long as
do customers walk in and out?
On occasion, yes. If an item needs to be appraised and it can't be appraised on a lower floor, then yes, you would go see the masters of appraisal, which you could do, as long as you stay in that section.
Wait.
What?
Masters of appraisal.
Yeah, that's what I used to work in.
Item masters, then.
Huh?
Does it not strike you as a little odd that we're here looking for a certain person, and it sounds like you worked in a place where said person would probably be found?
I burp uncomfortably.
Not the bibbles.
Did you ever hear anything about this person that we're seeking? This particular master?
I don't think I would have, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't have been new to me, Brad.
Word the question again for me. That you had, Fairlight.
Oh, I was just asking, like, since you worked in an appraisal office full of people, who are quite literally masters of appraising items, is there a possibility that this master of items that we are seeking is, I don't know, working there? Or have you heard anything about anything like that, a rumor?
I don't think you would have done.
Yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't have been a surprise.
Because if
for
the enchantment itself, if you came close to it, would have probably warded you off from anything, if at all. I can't imagine that. Yeah. I can't imagine that you would have done. Yeah, so I don't think so.
Rio, what if, while you're up there, now that we know that person exists, what if you'll see something that we might not have seen before, or that Twoof wouldn't have known before?
Exactly, and I've got my nose and my big goggles. I'm on the last second. I'm now just hyping up in the background.
Well, I mean, we could go pay them a little visit and ask around. I guess I could go alone, but if we want to try and grab that bag, it would probably be helpful to have at least one or two partners in crime as a distraction to maybe grab that bag. Twoof, wait, you said it's your master's bag. Does your master not still work there?
No.
Is your master still alive?
Missing. I mean, I hope so.
Oh, okay. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, definitely. But first, we should start with the bag. And
what are the
unpacking
odds?
that.
Okay, we'll get the bag. We unpack the bag, and we unpack the missing master later. But what are the odds that this bag is still sitting there, given that you've been down in Runenstein for a year?
Well, it depends on if they had a replacement. If they had a replacement master appraiser or not. It's entirely possible, due to the nature of how he left, that they just closed up his shop and there's nobody in there now. It's like a crime scene type thing.
Right. I suppose it depends how many other master appraisers there are waiting in line to take his spot. Right, I'll go up.
There are. Well. Oh, do I know that, right? I do know that. I know I've written it down how many there are total. How many master appraisers are there? Are there 7?
There's 7, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, my brain.
They're known as the Gilded Claw.
Yeah, the Gilded Claw. There are 7 6 for now, unless somebody else has taken their place. But I don't think technically anyone can take my master's place because they're missing, not dead, and they haven't relinquished it. So I don't know how that works, to be honest with you.
Right.
But if you go upstairs and look around, you can find out.
Are most of these appraisers are your people, right? They're Gesto, or is there others? They're like humans. Okay.
No, they're all Gesto, and you want to avoid Gutterhilt. He's just terrible.
Okay. Well, no, I was thinking it's a good thing. It means they're less likely to have messed with his stuff, because you lot
That's true.
don't like touching other people's stuff, right? So there's a good chance there's a good chance it is still sitting there. If it were a human office, they would have packed it up and moved it. Okay. I'll go take a look then.
Rio, how do you want to do this? Do you want to...
I think... Do we have anything on us that is a little weird? Something that we could walk in to have appraised, or at least feign some interest in having it appraised?
I mean,
Good question. Outside of the
Well,
lost second, I don't know.
I have my magical mug that you allowed me to have at the very, very, very beginning of the campaign.
Or one of the mugs from the end of
Or
time.
one of the mugs
the mug from the end of time. Why don't we bring
that
that?
would probably be really
Yes.
good. Cause yeah,
Just
they
who knows?
They really only.
Those mugs might have been made 10,000 years in the future from some material that's not been discovered yet.
Yeah. Then and also, like, you have to keep in mind, and again, my nose is still in the lost second, and Brad, this day doesn't have to count. I'm just, narratively, I think it's funny.
You do whatever you want. You guys have got 7 days.
Okay. Yeah, and you have to keep in mind that it's usually people are going to get their items appraised if they can't get appraised properly downstairs, which means there has to be something magical or some contest about their value. And then whatever they say upstairs, whatever the masters say upstairs goes, right? And then usually people will come, wander back downstairs, and then gamble with whatever it was that they got appraised. It's really quite sad.
Can't imagine going through all that trouble to have something appraised just to turn around and try to lose it.
Well,
Okay.
people like gold. That's the way it goes, I guess.
Yeah. What about those mugs from the end of time? Let's take a look. That's probably our best bet for confounding some appraisers.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea.
You can take them if you want.
Let me look at it.
I pull mine out of my bag.
Do we have a description written anywhere for these, or has it been too long and we've all forgotten?
One of us had one that looked like a
They each
tortoise
look
shell.
different.
They
Yeah.
were all different. I can
Yeah, they were.
see if I made
Yeah. I
that.
think
I
Let
wrote
me see
mine down.
what did I write down?
I wrote mine down. I have no
I think
idea
I
where I
did somewhere
saved
too.
it.
I'm just like, I'm just looking at it, and I guess my question would be: at first glance, can I even tell what it's made of, or does this look like some foreign futuristic substance?
Yeah, so you had one that was kind of like a modern day looking mug, right? It was one of you did. One of you had the like a wooden looking piratey one.
Yeah.
One of you had one that looked kind of bizarrely modern. Like it would look to us in the real world as modern, almost like you know that strange sort of half plasticky rubbery stuff that they make a lot of the sports mugs out
Yep.
of.
Yeah,
Kind of looked a little like
a,
that.
like a
Oh my
Gatorade bottle
God.
Yeah.
showing up in medieval times.
I can't remember the other two. I think probably out of all of them, that one, my memory, if my memory is correct, was probably the weirdest one because it does look like it's genuinely from the future, and it just
Yeah,
would
one
look
of them
really
was
bizarre.
definitely like a tortoise shell, so it actually looked just like a natural thing.
Yeah,
as
one
well,
was
so-
pretty
Okay.
normal looking. The other was pretty wooden, like a classic mug. I don't remember what the fourth one looked like now. And
What?
My
again, I
notes
normally
literally just say Feldavir, my cup from the end of time! ! Smiley face.
it's the type of thing that you're like convinced you'll remember, and then just months later you're like,
I mean,
obviously, why would I remember that? Like it's
I have the
insane that I
barrel
thought I would.
mug, which could be, I think we may have rolled that into the jokey item that you gave me during the session zeros. The description of it is any liquid that the consumer drinks from this mug automatically provides a mild boost to energy.
Right,
So
yeah.
I may have taken the pirate
Because you
mug
filled it with Monster Energy
and just
or whatever.
rolled it into this because I filled it with cheap
That
energy
might be what
drink.
we did. Yeah, yeah. We can say that. We can say that
So
you have that one.
you can
at
take
least.
that, or you can take the weird, looks like it's made out of strange future material.
Yeah, let's take. Well, I think I'll look at the futuristic material one, freaking the Gatorade sports bottle, and take that and say
It's weird.
I mean, I have no idea what this is, and I've never seen anything made out of anything like it. Maybe we take this up there and ask them what it is, just to stump them and distract them for a little bit, because they're probably gonna have no idea either. Is this even a real? Like, have you ever seen it? I'm holding it up to the group. Have any of you ever
I've
seen
never
anything?
seen anything like that before.
Like,
No.
what even is this
never.
material? I'm like knocking my knuckle against it.
It's essentially plastic, so that's your characters have fucking no idea what it is, but for your
never seen that.
for your role play, that's what
Yeah.
you're interfacing with here.
Yeah, it's like it's either we have iron, we have wood. what the heck is plastic?
I mean, it feels like it's pretty. It's pretty. It doesn't look like it break easy.
Yeah, it feels pretty solid. We also have Black Limit, the knife, but I feel like a Vianthracite dagger is something that they've probably seen before, and that
Yeah,
wouldn't
they've
throw them
probably
off.
seen that.
Okay, I'll take this up there, and then.
Do you want to bring someone with you?
Well, I mean, if I am keeping them busy talking, one of you could, I don't know, turn invisible, Brula, and go pick up that little bag that that Twoof is trying to get.
That's such a marvelous idea. And she bends over and there's just like a clang of musical instruments. Absolutely. I'm ready.
Before you go anywhere, though, Alinys will like grab Brula's wrist gently, and just look at you. Are you okay, though?
Yeah, just tired.
Okay. If you're sure.
Well, not sure, but I'm sure that I'm tired.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And she squeezes your wrist right back.
Rio, do you want me to try and contact 12 gold pieces while you're away?
I mean, you can come with if you want. You can help, you can either help Brula, or keep an eye on her, or whatever, or you could be my partner in crime and we act as a very distracting duo and run interference while Brula tries to get the thing.
Twoof, will you
Actually,
be
maybe
okay
it's
on your
best
own?
if I go with someone. And she kind of shakes her head. She already forgot where she's supposed to go.
Okay. Twoof, will you be okay on your own?
Oh yeah. Quick question. Sorry, who's going? Inside, maybe? My master's shop, if it's open.
I think all three of us.
Oh, perfect. Listen, if it does happen to still be there and like a crime scene, and you do happen to get inside, on that back table, like with the blue lamp, not the green one. After you find the bag, if you just turn left and look at the table, if you happen to see like a tiny bell with a little goat on it, I would really appreciate if you got that for me too.
Bell with a goat. Okay.
I mean, if it happens to be there.
Okay.
All right, let's go do it.
Okay. Good luck.
You too.
Okay, so who's going? Rio and Alinys?
All of us except
Brula's coming
two.
too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brula's
Tippy.
Brula's the one who has invisibility spell, so I need her.
Right. Yeah, you guys make your way up to the 4th floor. At the entrance to the 4th floor, you take that set of stairs up to the 3rd floor where it's kind of just an industrial zone. You've just come back down from there when you came out of the blue room. Heading up to the 4th floor, once you get to that top level, this enormous huge stairway just kind of stops and becomes a single pathway that leads off to the right or the east. And it has kind of a similar thing to what you had at the entrance to Sonnentor, where there are these little booths and kind of like a queuing system, and then these rows of separate kind of looking guards. You kind of have to pass through what is essentially another TTSA to get through here. You two that were up here with Quill would have passed through this before, and he just walked you through it all, if you remember. So once you get up to the 4th floor here, you're looking at a bunch of Sonnenguard. This is Gestove, predominantly with those black robes on. They're all kind of armed to the teeth. You've been told that they're quite fearsome. And then there are different booths that you can approach. For the most part, there are people just coming and going, but they seem to be, like officialized people who can come and go. And there are a handful of people that are just walking up to the booths and then having conversations with the workers in there. How are you approaching that whole thing?
I'm assuming that there's some sort of index or like a "you are here," or like the inside of a shopping mall, kind of a indicator of where things are. So I'm gonna look for that first to see if there's like official instructions.
Yeah.
And if not, then I'm just gonna try to rely on the address that Twoof wrote down and just follow the street names.
Oh, I didn't write anything down.
You can't gain access to the 4th floor without going through this security checkpoint.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
and
it's like
there isn't it's nothing like the first 2 floors with the the kind of amusement area. It's just like simple sandstone. It looks much more simplistic. Arcane runes all over the walls. Predominantly Gesto coming and going, very quiet, very like isolated areas, and they move in rows on either side of the thin kind of street here. So yeah, there are like signs in varying different languages that say like no admission without authority and stuff like that you might expect to see. But yeah, you can attempt to sort of like figure out a way to stealth through or go invisible and stuff like that, but you get the sense that this is the kind of checkpoint that is not going to be particularly easy for just an average person to sneak through.
Would I know of like a name or something that they would use to get up here to get something appraised?
I mean, you can come up here to get
Crown
stuff.
told me to come up here.
Yeah, you could. You could name one of the council members or one of the other appraisers. Also, you can come and go. It's just that you have to go through this checkpoint.
Right. Okay.
And for the most part, the people that are getting stuff appraised are like insane level nobility and people of extreme notable worth. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just your average adventurers. Even if they have been to the depths of a really interesting like dungeon and pulled something strange up, you've normally find some sort of representative. So yeah, I mean, you could potentially name some people, but it's not going to help you too much.
Right.
You're at the TSA in like JFK.
I get it. But it's a TSA checkpoint. I'm gonna try the just walk up and ask to go in strategy, because I think that's exactly what Rio would do. He would just say, "Hey, can I go in there?"
Can I also mechanically ask, the spell casting within the city, small things, are they permitted, or I know that we were caught because of the lost second, because that was quite a large amount of like magical energy, but if I were to cast, say, guidance, would that be something that flagged or no?
Give me a history check. Let's see if you know.
Okie dokie. The answer, based on my stats, probably not.
Yeah, if there's signs around like no entry without authorization, is there also signs like no magic?
13.
No, you don't see any signs that say like no magic and stuff. 13, generally speaking, magic is completely allowed. Like, they don't seem to be particularly vexed or stressed about magic use. No more than any other city has just endless signs that say like, obviously don't cast fireball in the middle of the market. But generally speaking, you don't notice that there is any significant strict like sets of restrictions on magic, whether it be large or small spells. You get the sense that, you know, unless somebody like specifically were to tell you what the rules are, it doesn't state anything, and there doesn't seem to be any restrictions. If you had the ability to, you could probably use some very high level spells. So what Nysa said as Detective Quill might have been deceptive.
All right. I think I will just, as we're approaching, but, you know, a little bit further back so that it's not literally within earshot, I'll just touch Rio's shoulder and give it a squeeze and cast guidance and say, "You got this. You know what to say."
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I mean, we don't have to lie our way in, right? We do have an unknown item, and we do want to have them look at it, so
give me a
You
flat
just have to be extra charming.
give me a flat charisma check, and you can add the guidance to it.
okay. Flat charisma. Right, here it is. Oh wait, is that a charisma? It is. Natural 20.
Nice.
24. So you, and I'm gonna just like blitz through this.
Sure.
You essentially have a brief conversation with what is essentially like, they're literally called TTSA, and the gesto that's speaking to you doesn't seem to be like too harsh, but it does feel a lot more strict. than the actual entrance to the tower, where they kind of asked you some vague questions, didn't really seem to care too much about what your answers were, just kind of jotted them down and sent you in. Here, this person very clearly takes down a note of your appearances and your names. So do you give fake names during this process?
Well, actually, if we're not trying to hide anything.
No, I don't like. We haven't broken any laws or done anything wrong, so I see no reason to hide my identity. I'm just using my
same.
real name. Well, my real air quotes name, because Rio does have two names to begin with. He's got like his elfin name and his human name, but
Yeah.
I'm using the same human name that I use everywhere else.
Yeah. They ask if you live in the tower or any of the towers, or have lived within any of these towers in the past, or whether you're visitors.
We're visitors.
Then there's a few questions about the thing that you're having appraised. And are you honest about that? Like, what do you say about this thing?
I'm honest about everything except if they ask where we got it from,
Okay.
because there's no way that I can tell them that we literally picked it up from a time vortex at the end of the universe. So I claim that it was we found it in a haunted ruin or something like that.
You could tell them where we got it, but not when.
Where did we get it?
We were.
Where
Weren't we on the road
We were
at the time at a campsite?
You were.
We were on
technically,
the
yeah.
road. Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah, so it was somewhere-
You know, we got
before the
it was-
market.
It was right after we fought that
The
spirit,
rock. Oh
the Naga thing, right?
no, it was before that.
Yeah,
Was it before that?
Right after the bird, I think.
See, you
right
don't
after
even
the
have
bird.
to lie about
Oh,
not
well,
knowing about when
yeah,
we
it was
got
somewhere
it.
in
Okay,
there.
well, I'm gonna use the spirit Naga as an excuse, though. I'm gonna tell them that we encountered a monster on the road, and after we defeated it, we found this in its treasure hoard.
Okay.
That's what I'll tell them.
Based on these answers, you are to be accompanied by Sonnenguard throughout your movings through the 4th level. There will be 2 Sonnenguard that will simply quietly accompany you on your journey. If you're going to visit an appraiser, you're to go to the appraiser and then immediately leave. If that's to change, you just have to inform the Sonnenguard if you have to go somewhere else for whatever reason. And if they ask you to leave, you have to leave. So assuming you agree to that, then they'll let you in.
I don't think we have a choice. So I'll agree to it, as I'm also kind of like nodding at Alinys and Brula, like, hey, you two are gonna need to. If I'm gonna have these guys are gonna be breathing down my neck probably, so maybe you can slide off when they're not paying attention. But yeah, well, I'll agree to it and then go to the appraiser's office.
Okay, yeah, you are introduced to where are we? 4th floor. Upper levels, not 4th floor. Bradley of past in your notes. Broken Gold and Silk Ribbon. These are the 2 Sonnenguard Gesto that introduce themselves to you. 2 relatively stocky and quite muscular looking Gesto, significantly larger than Twoof. They just seem to be armed to the teeth. They both seem to have these kind of long shimmering scimitars that suggest they might have some magical element to them. They seem to have a Vianthrosite crossbow, and they have but each of them has a mage hand that is floating around and that they predominantly use. Black robes with the Sonnenguard and Sonnentor sort of sigils on. And then they kind of lead you through this kind of checkpoint security area, and then into the 4th floor, which 2 of you had walked through very briefly before. It's much smaller, but it almost resembles kind of, if you imagine a sort of a quite rustic sandstone build with this almost Victorian overlay. With because the 3rd floor is so industrialized, it's very packed in and tight and just sort of roughly built, whereas this upper floor seems to have a bit more care applied to it. So the sets of roads that you're moving through that take you to the appraiser's quarter does have like quite nice looking, and they seem to be kind of like fire or gas lamps, something like that. They're not all Vianthrosite technology and Magitech. The roads are quite nicely paved, and most of the shop fronts and high wealth looking homes and sort of banks and hoard keeps that are here are all quite nicely built with this sort of noble air to it. It's a bit like being in the upper level of New Runenstein again. You follow the instructions. Maybe you guys ask one of the Gesto, Broken Gold or Silk Ribbon with you, which way is it to the appraisers. They would probably ask you which appraiser you're looking for, and I can't remember if Twoof gave you a name or just a description of like how to get to it.
I just gave the description of how to get to the section, and then I only said one person you should avoid, and I didn't say why.
Right. Who did you say avoid?
Yeah, unfortunately, that name. What was it? Gilded something?
No, it was Gunner. I made it up on the
Gunner
spot.
Hilt?
It was Gunner Hilt. Yeah.
Gunner Hilt.
No, not Gutter. Gutter, like you found it in the gutter.
Gutter Hilt.
Yeah.
Gutter
Broken
Hilt.
Hilt in the gutter. Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem is when they're like, "Who are you here to see?"
Don't do
and
it.
I need a name.
That's actually why I PV said it.
Oh,
But yeah, perfect.
When they're like, which appraiser are you here to see? I'm like, we're here to see, and the only name that Rio can remember is the guy that you said was a dick. So I'm like, Gutterhilt. Gutterhilt.
Alinys goes, yep. Because she realizes in that moment she doesn't know anyone else, so she's just like, yeah.
It's the only one we know.
Yeah. Okay, so they lead you through to the appraiser's quarter, where there are several kind of simple looking but well-to-do shop fronts. They take you past Obel appraisers, Octahedrus appraisers, and they bring you to the Jade Hilt appraisals shop. And they they look at one another and they say, you know, we'll stay out here. And they send you in. And you walk into this kind of small looking shop front, really, is really all it is, because it's kind of like it's essentially like a jewelry shop more so than anything else. So the few items that are out and on show, they're not really for sale. It's not the type of place that you'd step into. You would come to it for a specialist, and you would you know, like kind of potentially come to have something appraised, or if you're purchasing something through one of these appraisers, it's probably just done on a level that is beyond wandering into a store. It's like you send your people to meet with their people type situation. You come into this very small looking shop front, and there's really only just enough room for the three of you probably to fit in the front of this shop comfortably. For two of you are like, you know, medium sized, and most of these buildings were built around the Gesto, so they're quite small anyway, and you step in under a relatively small doorway and into this beautiful looking shop. Two glass cabinets in front of you, and they're curved as well, which is crazy to see, by the way. Curved glass cabinets with just lots of very unique looking jewelry in there, with two vianthrosite looking devices. One of them is kind of a very small looking little cube with a pulsing purple light in it that kind of reminds you a little of the Lost Second, but cuboid and smaller. And before
before we get too far into that, I would not have come up here until making Twoof write down the address. Are we even going to the right place? Like,
they're all next to each other. Yeah.
Based on the place that you were given instructions to, then no, this is not the door.
Okay. And then what's the name of the place we need to go?
This is the problem, is that Twoof didn't give you that. Twoof gave you instructions of where to go and who not to go and see, which was Gutterhilt.
Yeah, we just know that we're looking for a potentially crime scene or boarded up building in this kind of neighborhood, I guess, or like this area.
This is a
buildings.
small little neighborhood of master appraisers. So these people are like just unbelievably best of the best, and they're just you come here to have strange oddities and artifacts appraised.
Right. So I mean, I don't know the difference between how their city is structured versus like real life or whatever. But if we have an address, would it not point to a specific building? Would I not be able to look and see which building has this number?
Tooth
on
gave
it?
you verbal instructions, like it was like go up, do a left, do a
I
right,
said
do a
go
left, do a right.
left.
And
Yeah.
I said I'm not leaving till you write it down. I meant it. I would have brought you a pen and paper and said write
Oh,
this
I
down.
wouldn't write it. I would. Well, I mean, you could write it down, but I wouldn't be able to give you an address. I would literally just say
Okay.
down the hall, left, and you would have had to write that down.
So you wouldn't know the address?
I don't have an address. I don't think I ever had an address. I never signed for anything. I just got there. I would go to work
Okay.
every day and I would take the hallway and I'd go up and I'd go left.
You would just go to your town just doesn't have addresses.
Well,
I'm
they
sure
would.
they
They don't
do,
have
but I
like
just
they don't have
don't
like
think I-
24.
Yeah.
Poo Poo Street along here. What you would have was
Okay.
the name of the place, which was Loop Appraisals, but there's no way it's called that if it's still there, under your
Okay.
assumption. Too.
On the way
Yeah.
up, as we were about to enter the room or the building, did Alinys notice? Like, will I have seen anything that looks like it might be either a boarded up building or a building that has like anything that indicates that it's under investigation or is derelict? I guess.
Give me a perception check. You can have advantage because I think you get advantage anyway. But
I do.
I was going to give it to you for the fact that you're all looking around. 24 Poo Poo Street.
Oh, that's terrible. It's a 12 with advantage.
Can
Nowhere
I-
looks boarded up here at all.
I would also like to roll if I didn't get an actual
You don't need to. She
address.
It-
okay.
It's this is all of you. You all got this check because this was Alinys with help from all of you. So,
Sure.
Yeah, nowhere looks boarded up at all. Not one of these addresses, especially in the appraisers quarter, looks like run down or anything. It's beautiful in a bizarrely sort of rustic way, somewhere between kind of ever so slightly ancient Egyptian and a Victorian alleyway. But like a nice Victorian alleyway, not like a,
Not Poo Poo Street.
Whitechapel murderer. Yeah.
Would I if I'm looking at the directions of left, right, like how closely have we followed this to like?
I think
can
at
I
the
tell
end,
if we're
Twoof
at
said
least
something
in the
like-
right spot?
Yeah, Two said something like the third door on the right or something like that.
Yeah, I did. I said left, right, left again, and then it's going to be the third door on the right.
Yeah. This is
Okay,
the
and-
third door on the left.
Okay,
Just
so
across.
it would be across the hall from us.
Or said across the hall, which is somewhere called
Okay.
Obble Appraisals, directly across from Gutter Hilt.
Okay, then as we're going into
from,
this
Jade
place, I'm probably like looking at the other two and then looking across the hall, like, we need to get in there somehow, and then okay, you said the two guards are waiting outside.
Yeah.
So
They're milling around.
I-
They honestly seem a little bit like they do this every day. You're probably like, you guys have rolled up looking like a classic few adventurers, but I don't think that you get the sense that these guys are particularly interested in you. They're just kind of doing their thing.
I mean,
Gotcha.
they said we could tell
the
the guards if we needed to change our plan.
that's true. For the whole the whole way over here, by the way, Rio's talking their ear off. He's like, those capes are sick, by the way. Is that scimitar magic? Also, you guys are like really freaking built. What's your workout? Like, what do you do?
Super stern. It's like talking to
Like
the
an arm
military.
guy.
They're just
We're
not
getting after
interested.
it,
Please continue
After-
moving, sir.
After like 5 minutes of trying to talk their ear off and getting stonewalled, I think I eventually give up on that, and then I just go in and talk to the appraiser.
Okay, so you jump across the street. As you're about to walk in, you look over and realize that you want that one. You step over the street and go into Obble Appraisals, which, as
Oh,
far
if
as
they'll-
you're
if-
able to tell,
If they'll let me go to that one instead, then I'll just walk
I
over
think
there.
I think they do. I don't think that
Okay.
again they're particularly bothered. You didn't say which appraiser you were going to when you first arrived, so I think when you get to this street and you're like, it's that one, and then maybe you go, oh wait, no, it would be that one. They just go, okay, we'll wait outside, and they post up outside. Obble
perfect.
Appraisals is very similar. It has a similar storefront, but there's a little lick of color around the door, and then kind of an arched window over the top of the door, as opposed to the Jade Hilt, which has this kind of flourish of painted hilts. The door to this place is quite large compared to the other one as well. In fact, compared to all of the other appraisals here, this door looks a little bigger than the others. And then the brickwork seems to be like classic stone, exposed brickwork. So they've had some sort of change to the front of this, so it isn't like a sandstony. But when you step in, it's a similar looking thing. You have 3 kind of desks on one side that look like the type of thing that you could work on, but clearly are just there for show to make it feel like authentic, like you're in an appraiser's workshop with all of these like tinkering things on, and a single glass cabinet on the other side with a similar array of kind of strange looking jewelry. There's 2 vianthrosite devices in there as well. One of them is via coil, but an updated kind of model that is designed to shoot 3 flechettes out. And the other vianthrosite device, I don't think you have any idea what it is. It's kind of in the shape of like a diamond, and it looks like just like black stone with a vianthrosite stone embedded in it, and it's just constantly pulsing these sigils across the front of it. Or maybe like a very small shield would maybe what it would look like. Again though, it's a small looking shop front with a door that leads out of the back, 2 stalls, and then behind the desk there is another desk where someone could actually work on appraisal stuff. As you open the door, a bell rings above the door. Ding, 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 ding. And as you look up, the bell has a little goat on it. And you step into this place, and you hear from sort of a rear room, "Hold on one moment." You guys
Sure.
presumably step in. Again, not much room to move around, but more so than the other one. You know, you didn't probably walk into the other one, but you looked in.
Smells like a library in here.
It smells very much like a library. There's also a little smell of kind of like a strong, smoky tea smell. It's kind of almost like a burnt tea smell. Not quite burnt though, just a very strong smell that seems to be coming in from a rear room. You were going to say something?
No, I'll go ahead and step in, and then like I'm gonna elbow Alinys and be like, "Oh my goodness, they have the burst fire coil in here. Oh, I've never seen one before.
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
It
fires 3 at once.
It's got a little square box attachment on the side of it as well, which looks a little bit like that thing that Guts fires in the beginning of.
Damn.
Like you step in, and like 30 seconds or so later, a human walks out from the rear. This kind of old-looking man in Sonantor robes, just much larger, dressed exactly like you might expect someone from Sonantor to dress, with their simple-looking robes, a little gold inscription on one side, dark-looking trousers, and he also has like a leather thing kind of wrapped around his waist that you get the sense he could pull around and would be something that he could use to work a workman's, what are they called, like an apron. And a very old looking human man steps forward, very thin looking, long grey beard, bald head, one large looking I guess what he has on is a set of glasses where one side looks pretty normal and circular and small, resting on his nose, and the other side is a huge kind of thick looking monocle. As he steps forward, he flicks the monocle up to one side, greasy hands on a kind of a rag that he places on the table behind the desk, and says, "Oh, good morning, welcome. I wasn't expecting any visitors today. Welcome to Obble Appraisals. How can I help?"
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to shoot a look before I start responding to him. As soon as we get in the door, I want to shoot a look off to the left to the area that Twoof was describing, where the former master would have been. It was a blue lamp, not a green one, in the corner on the left. And I'm looking over there to see if there's like an unoccupied desk with a lamp on it that matches, so I know I'm in the right spot.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
None of the things you're looking for are in there.
None of the stuff. Okay, how about the bag that I was looking for? I'm assuming that's not there either.
The little leather satchel, you can't see that anywhere either.
Okay. And then last but not least, is there a nameplate on either that desk off to the left. Is there even okay, let me back up. Is there even like a little work spot over to the left, or is that gone completely?
There is a little work spot. There's a sort of fake looking one that is just sort of clearly for show that doesn't match Tooth's description, and then there's a thick looking desk with multiple drawers in it, and a workspace on top of it that does look like it's used a little more. But there's a little dust on it. It doesn't look like it's been used that often recently.
Okay. And is there a nameplate on either of those?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm looking over there, and I'm like, I'm either not sure. We're either in the wrong place, or they've completely remodeled and got rid of it, and I'm not entirely sure. So I'm kind of gonna just give up on that and instead just turn my attention to talking to this guy and say, oh, hi, yes, sorry to drop in unannounced. It's just we found an artifact when we were out traveling, and no one can tell us what it is, and since we're in Sonantor, this is where the best appraisers in the world are, so I figured we'd swing by and see if maybe you could tell us what it is. And I'm gonna just pull out the mug and show it to him and say, we're pretty sure that it's a vessel for drinking out of. That much is obvious. It's what it's made of that's interesting. We don't even know if it's from this world. We've never seen anything like it. And I'm gonna show him the plastic drinking mug from the future.
Yeah, he steps forward and he kind of looks over you and says, normally it is by appointment only. I am Benson Benwick. Pleasure, the 7th of the Master Appraisers of the Gilded Claw. And he holds his hand out to shake each of your hands if you take it. A very thin hand. He's got 3 rings on his, 2 on his little finger and 1 on his index finger. And as you take his hand there, you can feel the rings more than you can feel his skin. His skin is so dry and old, and his hand is quite cold. But the rings are these big iron-looking things, and he grips each of your hands with a relatively strong grip, and then he says, "Oh, we can take a look at this, yes. Immediately, or would you like to leave it?"
Well, I know that it's normally appointments only, so I would hate to intrude if it's going to disrupt your schedule. But if you're not terribly pressed for time, I would love for you to take a look at it now, and just to tell me if you have ever seen anything like it before, or if it's really one of a kind.
We're always pressed for time. Look around you. We're in Sonantor, my boy. There's many artifacts coming through all the time. I can take a look now, yes, if you'd like. It is an interesting thing, yes, that's...
And he flicks his monocle down and kind of eyes it from afar, and his hands get close to touching it, but he doesn't, and then he flicks his monocle back up and says,
yes, I can take a moment to look at it. How much of a comprehensive understanding of this artifact would you like?
Well...
100% comprehension, please.
Oh, that could take me some time, my dear.
How much does that cost?
A full comprehensive look. It depends on what we discover from this. And so the price can change quite significantly depending on the artifact. If it is dangerous, if it is cursed, enchanted in some way, these can all affect how it might be appraised ultimately in the end.
Right.
If you leave it with me for a few days, we can set the price early at 50,000 gold pieces.
That sounds pretty reasonable. As I turn to, I turn to the others so that my face is not visible to him, so he can't see my expression going.
I love this episode. What the fuck?
But out loud, I'm saying, "Oh, that sounds reasonable, right?" Nodding my head, and then I'll turn back to him and say, "Well, I don't think we have any reason to believe that it's cursed or anything, nothing malignant like that. After all, we've had it with us for how long now? At least a few weeks. It's never acted up or done anything." When he started reaching forward to touch it, I'm kind of trying to put it in his hands because I want him to get distracted by it. So I'm kind of holding it up, like offering it to him to see if he'll take it, like subconsciously.
Give me an insight check.
Sure. I'm also realize I know the Gesto customs might also be.
Yeah, well, he's
thing
a
for
human
him.
man, but yeah, he might still be observing them.
I rolled quite well on insight as well. I got the 21.
You get the sense he could not give a fuck about this. This mug. He's sort of like he looks at it, but it's less that like
He did that thing where he like charges way too much just to be like, fuck off.
Yeah, don't.
I don't want to do
I
it.
don't think you even get that sense from it. You just feel like he's being kind of weirdly dismissive of this mug.
Huh.
There's an
Okay.
element to this that doesn't quite make sense to you. He's sort of just like doesn't really care.
Gotcha.
He's still acting like he does though. That's the thing that's
Okay.
kind of odd for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's his job, right? So he's probably just like, smile and wave. When you're at work and the customer's there, you put on the face, right?
Yeah, but oh, shutting up. I'm not there.
Well, I'll turn to the others and say, would you give us just a moment? And turn to the other two like I want to deliberate on whether we want to leave this thing here or not, and say, I kind of want to know, but also 50,000's a lot. What do you think? And I'm taking my time waiting to see if he'll turn to look and do something else.
He's just watching the three of you.
I mean,
that's
we don't
awkward.
even know if it's worth that much.
That's true. I was hoping maybe we could auction it off back when we get back to Runeside. And at this, I'm looking up at that the bell on the thing to see if it's possible. Like how securely is it attached and stuff like that, or is it, if it's just hanging there? Like, can we get
Investigation
Toof's? Can we get Toof's bell back? Investigation.
Uh-huh.
An 8.
An
8.
It's gonna be real tough to get that bell off there. It is it is affixed pretty well, and it is the bell itself. You would have to unscrew a little screw to be able to slide the bell off from the little hinge that it's sitting on above the door. To do it in front of this old man, and the Sonantor guard are standing outside of this door, but there's a big window that looks in, so they're like just right on the other side of a big pane of glass as well. Doing it directly like in front of anyone would be really difficult. In terms of actually like taking the thing off, you could probably do it with your hands. Depending on how hard the bolt is on the back of this thing, it's kind of just a bolt and screw, so you could just undo it, slide the bell off, and get it out of there. It is also a bell, so you'd have to make sure.
The little bell rang when we came in the door, right?
Yeah,
it did, yes.
It's
So-
the door. It's literally the door
Alinys
chime.
will see Rio looking up at it and lean in and say, I don't know, maybe Twoof will be pleased to know that it has a purpose.
Yep. That seems like it is right where it wants to be. That's what Twoof would say, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I will turn back to Mr. Benson and say, I'm fairly certain even if we got it appraised and a certificate value and all that, it's probably not going to auction for anywhere near that price, even if it is made of a fancy material. So we won't take up any more of your time. I'm sure you've got more important stuff to get back to.
Oh, yes, well, very well. It seems like an awful lot of effort to not have it appraised.
Oh, well, we were already in Sonantor on other business, so we figured we'd pop up here and see, but, sometimes you win big, sometimes you don't. I guess we didn't win this time. You take care now.
Very well. Have a good day. Pleasure.
You too.
You too.
He stands there
then-
just watching you kind of oddly.
Yeah, no, I just leave.
Yeah.
I just turn and leave. I turn and leave and say, if the tools aren't here, I'm not about to catch the heat for trying to steal a bell in front of 2 guards and a shopkeep. Let's just get out of here.
I think Alinys, and this is really clumsy because I've been thinking about this for a little while and I can't think of any other way to do it. But I think that knowing that we're in this place that it specializes in appraising items and knowing that we're looking for the item master but we can't say that, I think as we're walking out the door she'll say loudly enough that she hopes that he hears, but just as if she's speaking to her friends. Well, I guess we may as well go lose some more seconds down at the carnival. Just to see if there's any reaction.
From this guy?
Yeah.
He's just staring at you. I guess you can give me an insight check.
Well, it was worth a try.
You can give me an insight check if you take a glance at him.
Yeah, I'll glance over my shoulder to say goodbye. Not 20!
It means absolutely nothing to him, whatever you just
Okay.
said. He's just at best, he's like, maybe like, why would anyone word a sentence that way? Like, doesn't... He's just watching you. You get more of the sense that he just thinks that it's kind of odd that the three of you came up here, produced this strange looking mug, and then walked out. But also, it's like, it's not too insane to think that you came up and he was like, it's 50 grand. We are literally the best in the whole, like on the whole island, like everyone on Vayfall. And, you know, then you're like, maybe we'll come back another time, you know?
Yeah.
It's
We'll
a
come
lot
back
of
tomorrow.
effort to go up to the like secure area of Sonnentor for this, but it probably happens from time to time. So he's just watching you all leave, and then as soon as the door closes, you see him kind of turn around through the glass, and he heads back out into the into one of the rear rooms. The two Sonnen guards kind of look up at you and say,
Ready to leave?
Yep, I think so. We were kind of hoping it would be worth a lot more than it really was. Sadly, just another random trinket.
very well. They don't care. They just,
I
just
know
start
they don't
marching
care.
you away.
I'm just trying to bore them so that they won't pay attention, and I'll just walk with them.
Yeah. They lead you back out. They lead you through the checkpoint. You guys
Can I
head back down.
Can I try finagling info out of the guards? Like, ask them if there is like one appraiser who's. I'm trying to suss out who might be with the item master without actually saying who's the item master. So I'm gonna ask them something like, is there one appraiser that is considered like the most senior or above all the others? Like, who's the real master of items up here?
They give you a name. They tell you that Octahedrus Appraisals is the best, and that the very old Gesto in there, who's known as Caliper, is the best. But it doesn't have a shop front like that one where you can just go in. You have to fully book an appointment and find him and come to meet with him. He's like appraising for like the king of Eldessa and shit. So he's like,
he's
Damn.
too important to be.
He's the appraiser.
Too important to take walk-ins.
He's the master appraiser of the Gilded Claw. He's the first master appraiser.
I think I'm gonna look back at the other two and be like, maybe that's the guy. Maybe we go talk to him. Not
Maybe.
today. We'll have to make an appointment, but.
Yeah, who knows when the next appointment is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's probably weeks or months. Hey, how long would a waiting list be to talk to this man?
Let me see if they.
I'm asking the guards.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if they even know. I'm gonna roll it.
They're like,
Who knows? Months, probably. You probably gotta be the king or something, or the emperor.
They don't seem to really know.
I guess.
But you get the sense that it's like the reason they don't know is that why would they? And this like they've never booked an appointment with this person. You know, if they even ever heard anything, it was probably overhearing some butler that was sent to pick something up or whatever at best.
Well, I don't know. You said that they do this every day, so I figured maybe at some point they would have walked a person over to see the guy. But if they don't know, then it's whatever. I think I'm happy to just get out of here without getting arrested. Really.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
We've
follow
had
them
a rough couple of days up
Had
here.
some run-ins, yeah.
If
Yeah,
you got
I'm just,
arrested
like,
again without
paranoid.
me, I'd be so mad.
That's true.
I'm paranoid of Brula randomly grabbing something, or I don't know, maybe that's getting
Yeah,
arrested.
at this juncture, she is a little aimless right now, and her eyes just look a little glassy. So if you look at Brula and really study her, you'll see she's following you, but not quite certain about where she is.
Yeah, well, you mentioned earlier that she'd already forgot her instructions. Is that because you're so tired you can't think straight?
Yeah, that's
like lack of
probably a
sleep?
contributing factor.
Oh, okay. So there's more to it than that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we know out of character what's happened, but in character we wouldn't know yet, right? I think Alinys might have an inkling that things have progressed a little bit because of how much we've like studied together and looked into how things work, and I think she's concerned, but
Part of
is also
your
just
part of your 7-day thing, we can do some medicine checks if you want.
yeah, I'd like that.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we struck out on getting our hands on the bag of tools or the bell. I will go back and relay the results to Twoof, and I think we will happily leave the appraisal quarter without getting arrested and call that a W.
I think that's fair.
At least we
that's a
know where
win.
those things are, though. Now we have, we have eyes on the bell.
Also, we could go try to talk to this Caliper guy. If we can't get an appointment, what if we sneak into his house in the middle of the night?
And play him a song.
And then yes, and also show him the lost second and ask him if he can tell what it is.
No, that would be weird.
We're trying to find a person whose name and face we don't know, whose identity is protected by an enchantment, Brula. It's going to be weird no matter what we do. How do you ask around? How do you ask around to find the guy when you're not allowed to say his name?
You just
No matter
John
what we do, it's
Cusack
gonna
the
be
last
weird.
second, hold it up.
Do you want me to contact 12 gold pieces? I can try.
Do you want me to go? Do you want me to stand outside wearing a sandwich sign that says "Looking for Master Life"?
I mean, that
How
probably would
else are we gonna fucking do?
I thought maybe if we started
I want
talking
us
about
to
it, but not obviously, maybe somebody who knows something would hear, but
Well, to be honest, I wasn't expecting to have guards breathing over our neck and making us leave immediately. Twoof just didn't mention that. So yeah. I want to be saying that as we're coming in the door back into our hotel room. Yeah, well, Twoof didn't mention that there would be guards accompanying us and looking over my shoulder everywhere we went, making it a little harder. Any progress on that thing, Twoof?
Yes, not quite. Not anything tangible yet, but I'm getting somewhere. Did you happen to? My back is to you, and I'm hunched over, presumably the lost second. Did you happen to find what I was looking for?
Unfortunately, we didn't have a whole lot of success. We did find the right building, or at least I think it was the right building, from the directions you gave, like your old workplace. But your master appraiser's working area wasn't there anymore, or the whole place was different. There was no blue lamp, and it looked different. However, the bell you talked about, we did see it, but
I've completely stopped moving. My back's still to you, but I've frozen when you say that. Continue. Sorry.
And also, I didn't realize we were going to have a pair of Sonnenguard kind of glued to us the whole time we were up there, looking over our shoulders, which made it kind of hard to explore. But yeah, we found your bell. It's there at the shop, but we couldn't get it because there was too many people watching us.
it's currently ringing every time someone opens the door, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not just left in the corner. It's serving a purpose now.
Yeah,
It's
it has a purpose.
The entrance chime as you enter the shop now rings the bell.
Oh. What shop is there now?
What was the name? What was the sign over the door called? Blue something?
It was Obel Appraisals.
Obel. It's called Obel Appraisers. Is that what it was called before?
No.
And the appraiser there was a human named Benson. Do you know him?
No.
Benson Benwick?
No.
Twoof, are you okay?
Yeah, Brula sidles over to Twoof. Twoof?
Yeah. I think I'll look up at you, and you just see my very big eyeballs in these goggles, but they're all watery.
And Brula looks back at the other two. Twoof, what's up?
I don't understand how they could just replace his shop.
Well, it has been months, you said, right? I don't know. They wanted a lot of gold to look at an item. I guess that property is probably worth a lot of money.
There was a work table there that was covered in dust. I don't know if maybe it was his.
That's true. There was like a small workspace in the corner, kind of roughly where you described, even though it didn't match the exact description, and it looked kind of unused. So maybe he still has a little spot there that's untouched. Hard to say.
I should get to work. And I think I'm just gonna focus on the lost second.
Okay.
Sure. Sorry, I couldn't find the bag.
That's okay. Thanks for looking.
Alinys goes and makes some tea and leaves a cup next to Twoof, but doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I follow you out of the room when you go to make tea. And like when you get to the kitchen where you're making tea, I'm going to say, I'm kind of worried about both of them now, to be honest. Brula's kind of out of it, I think. And I'm not sure what Twoof is wrestling with.
I agree. I need to look into how Brula's doing. It's been a while since we checked her over, and
well, if you wanna look over these two, be mama bear for a while. I have another errand that I want to go run.
Okay. Will you be okay on your own? I mean, I know you can handle yourself, but
I'm just going to the library. I don't think it'll be anything too dangerous.
okay. That's fine.
You know, I meant to ask the appraiser as well about like the item master, but it occurred to me that like I don't know how to even start this conversation. It's very weird, knowing that it's protected by an enchantment and I'm not supposed to say it. And also, I kind of got the distinct impression that guy really didn't want to talk to us.
Yeah, he seemed very strange.
Yeah, like I feel like he was faking it. Like he was pretend smiling, but he really wanted nothing to do with us, kind of standoffish. So I just I changed my mind. I was gonna try and bring it up, but you know, he clearly didn't want us there, and I don't think he would have told us anything even if he knew. So,
no, you're probably right.
Sadly, even my infinite charm does not work on everyone.
It's unfortunate when we find that out. It means we can't fall back on it all the time.
I'll just have to try harder next time.
I guess you will.
All right, you wanna
I'll
keep an eye on the other two, okay? I'll be back.
No problem. Just don't take too long.
This should be a pretty quick in and out.
Okay.
In and out it is. We're going to follow you.
Ooh.
Sure.
Oh.
I don't know if it's this kind of thing you want to speed through or not, but like as one of my downtime activities, I wish to visit a local library because Twoof said that the local universities and schools and item appraisals teach like an entire semester dedicated to the heist of Nisus stealing the Staff of Power in the middle of an auction.
Did.
Oh shit!
Which I take this to mean it's somewhat well documented. So I want to go to the library.
Listen,
and
hold on. I just made that shit up. I just made it up on the fly. I don't actually know. Brad actively hiring an assassin to come and get me, dude. The way I've just ruined everything.
I mean, I know you co-authored this world, so I don't know how much of what you say is canon. Okay, well, fine. Then maybe it doesn't exist. Either way, what I'm attempting to do.
What do you want to do? Yeah.
I just want to go read up on his. I want to read up on his like stealing this item, and if possible, details on the item itself. I want to know what the thing does, because he himself implied that it was really powerful, and it was giving him a lot of advantages, and I want to know what it does.
Okay.
I'm looking to see what it is.
Give me 2 investigation checks, I think.
Okay. There's one. The first one is a nat 1, and the second one is a 3.
Okay, it is
okay.
Really hard for you to find this library, because it's not in this spire. You struggle at the first hurdle here of finding a library.
I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna say it's really hard for you to find this book, and then you finish the sentence. I can't even find the.
You haven't found the library. Because of the nature of how this sort of city-state works, the first 2 levels are the amusement park. It's like wide open to the public. They expect visitors coming and going. Once you get up to the 3rd level, they're still okay with you being there, but it's very different. And the 4th level is administration, which you've been to, is like locked off. Then you have 3 other. You have way more than 3 other towers. You have another major tower. That is Tower Theskar, which is where you're going to find more of just like a standard city. This is like where you are right now is, is Disney World, but there are still people that live in fucking Florida or France or in Paris or wherever, like these amusement parks are. So you would have to travel to another tower. First of all, are you willing to do that? What level of effort are you putting into this? You can apply this to the 7 days if you want.
I would hope that finding the library is not that difficult. If it looks like it's going to take more than 1 day, then I'll probably stretch it into the next day, but I probably wouldn't spend more than 2 days of doing this.
Yeah, at this point, and I'll bump the time up on this thing, it's probably been about 3 hours. So like when you leave, it's pushing something like 8 p.m. before you find that first natural one. I think is that by the time you sort of figure out that the library is in another tower, it's completely doable. Like you're free to visit the other towers. You have to get on something called a Himmelkart, or maybe walk across one of the very large bridges to one of the other floating towers. And you're probably thinking like this is going to take a while. So I think this is going to be a type of thing that you will have to do over the week.
Okay, so I think what I would like to do then is locate the place tonight and then go back, even if it means I'm out late, 10, 11, whatever, okay. Midnight, whatever. At least find it and get the address, which apparently don't exist in this town. But I'll write down, go right, get on the cart, go here, and then get the location of it, and then go back, and then I'll visit it again when they're open the following day, because I assume they're not open all night.
Yeah. There's a major library. There are other libraries in the other towers, but there's a major library in Spire Theskar, which is the 2nd largest tower. It's almost as big as this one. You're able to find it. And then, yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, and you go over to another tower as well, where things are a little different. It's much more like the 3rd floor. It's very packed in. It's like this weird mega structure of this, like a mega city with just like endless rows and levels and lots of different houses. People are utilizing the space in certain ways to allow themselves to like hang clothing out to dry, that kind of thing. Like you end up in a real sort of towered city. It's less flashy. It's less built for show and more just you run into what is essentially just the Gesto city. However, they're still observing, for the most part, this cultural restriction on what they touch and what they interface with and stuff. So a lot of their stuff isn't easily accessible and out the front, and everyone moves with sort of dedicated purpose and keeps to their own sides of the road and things like that, which I think actually makes movement a little slower. It's not so much that they're moving slow because they're moving structurally. It's because you don't know how to fit in with this flow of life. It's like being a random tourist in London on a Monday morning when everyone's a businessman and they're trying to get to work and they've got their route mapped out, and then you have this tourist with a camera who's lost and doesn't know which tube to get on. You're kind of doing that, plus you're looking specifically to try and find this library. And I think you do get back quite late. It probably is pushing midnight by the time you get back, but you do find a library, and you think you could easily swing by and spend a good amount of time in there researching some of this stuff, and we can fold that into the 7 days.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just figure out where it is, and then once I locate it, say okay, and now I know how to get here. I'll come back the next day, and then start walking back to the hotel that we're staying at, and we probably get a scene of Rio just on the way back. I think just walking real slow and kind of for the first time stopping to take in just how overwhelming this whole place is, because I'm a I'm a fisherman's kid from a tiny town, and I'm essentially in the middle of downtown Las Vegas for the first time. And it's finally hitting me as I am making this long walk back in the middle of the night by myself, looking up at this place of just, what have I got myself into? Holy crap. This place is huge. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm looking for a guy here whose name I don't even know to try and prevent a wizard from going back in time and resurrecting all of his murderous pals. And I don't even know if I should stop him because I think the item is actually technically his, even though Twoof keeps insisting that it's not. If he bargained for it and paid for it in advance, you know, it is his. Sylvia, I'm going crazy. And there's no audible response because I'm just at this point monologuing with my invisible companion on the way back.
You get back. I think probably the others are asleep. Maybe Twoof is still investigating this thing. For you guys, remember, this was a really long day. I think, you know, this was the day you got up and you went and took part in the arena fights. Then you were blipped forward a week. Then you came back and were immediately split, and you went. You had to deal with the fallout. Then you came back here and you had that really intense discussion, and you've spoken, and now, you know, and then for Rio, he's gone out to this other spot. Brula and Alinys have a moment where, you know, they're talking quietly. Alinys, maybe the two of you start making some food, and Alinys is like looking at the way that Brula is moving through this chalet that you're living in, and she's moving a little slower. She's got a little sort of fatigue to her. She seems a little kind of distracted at times, a little floaty. Twoof is leaning over the lost second, and for the moment is studying it. The goggles go on and starts looking over this thing, maybe just starts making little notes or something. I don't know how you would do that or how you'd interpret that, or maybe you're just muttering to yourself. I don't know how Twoof keeps these more difficult, complex computations that you're having to now do while you look at this device and retroactively disassemble it in your mind so that you can figure out how it works.
I'm fully bubbling, but it sounds like I'm having a conversation with the lost second.
Right, yeah.
I'm just like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
There is another probably like scene that we see of like Sonnengard just like bursting into the blue room. There's like tons of them outside. We see them all kind of rush in. They begin casting spells. There are a few of them that rush in with these Vianthrosite enhanced crossbows, swords drawn, preparing for a fight. That you just see these endless reflections of them in that blue room that you guys were in. They do a sort of a search and clear situation. You see them come out. You see them interacting with the real Detective Quill, and they begin this process of trying to figure out what was going on here and what pieced together the strange situation with the pixie that came flying in and said half of a bunch of random things. And they also find this room that was hidden, and they start trying to piece together some elements. We probably see written in Gesto the words Two Fingers as well, and then some investigations beginning on that situation. And yeah, there's now a sort of wanted world clock. So if you have 1 star in your top right of your HUD,
oh no.
And you know, which I think you suspected, and was, you know, you again, you don't know that this is happening actively. This is for us as a set of viewers to understand.
For a full beat there, I was like, oh my god, you actually have a start, and then I remembered what you meant, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'll add it next week. You can have a little flashing star in the top right of your thing. Yeah, we can do your first investigation check for the first 2 days here, and we can do a couple of checks actually. What we'll do is we'll do an investigation check for Rio. We'll do a medicine check for Alinys. We'll do a let me see what we're on here for Brula. You are, oh, here it is, on a Constitution saving throw, please, Brula.
Okay.
and then we'll do Toof's investigation checks because you get some goggle stuff going on.
That's a 10. That's a 10.
A towel.
13 technically.
A 13.
Oh, 13. Never mind.
That's 12.
13 is the number you had to beat, I think. So you make it and break it there, and
my trip back to the library, I rolled a 17 this time, and if the answer is simply that no such book exists, I'm okay with that because I didn't realize PB was just speaking it into existence.
No. PB spoke it into existence, so it exists. You just have to find it.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was improving.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. Because I'm never going to sleep again.
Rio, you go back to this library and there's some like helpful gesto that explain to you how you can use this library. It's not like other libraries where you can just go fingering through any old fucking tome. You gotta like go through a whole process where they make you wear a set of gloves and they grab this and they grab that. It's because I said fingering. That's why they're laughing. And
how did you know? I was trying so hard.
I have been a player before. So they won't let you and your grubby mitts touch all of these precious tomes. So the process is a little different, but they make you wear these different gloves and they show you how you're supposed to approach this thing. You can take one book down at a time. You can't take any of them back with you. And you've got like a little dedicated area in the library. And we see like just this montage of Rio reading through varying different books, trying to figure out what you can, see if you can like find this story. And locate the information about this this rod.
Why did you make eye contact with us?
Because I was going to say staff, but then I was like, well, let's, they're
in for a penny, in for a pine.
Yeah. You do find out a little bit. There's a few books. There's things like A Brief History of the Known World and histories of Vayfall and notable things that have happened here and there, but most of them are like ancient history. It's like the settlers and who were the ancients and stuff like that. But you ultimately find something that it pretty much just details the story as Twoof understood it and as Nice has explained it from the perspective of the sort of the book, I guess. You're given this story about the Runenstein auction house, which is a really well-to-do, very famous, unbelievably wealthy auction house. This is like well up there. It might be the greatest auction house on Vayfall, because there's so much mercantile stuff going on in New Runenstein, so it's just got so much like wealth going through it. That was overtaken by the Ardavelli family, and it would have been something like 30 years ago. Not long, like almost immediately after the this sort of relatively hostile takeover, they were bringing out like the best item that they had procured to sort of, it was almost like the official opening of this auction house, even though it had been open for a little while. This was like the point that they had made of it being like, we're finally back up and running and stuff. And then their main attraction was this thing known as the Staff of Power, which is like some sort of like ancient staff. This thing is super powerful, super famous. It's known all over Solmira. It's for sure not from Vayfall. They don't know where it's from, but it's this ancient thing that is like old school. Predominantly the power rests within the ruby gem, which is this absolutely enormous cut gem on the top of this thing, and then the rest of the staff has the there is an original core to this staff that is like old ancient druidic wood of some sort from, again, off Vayfall somewhere, and then there is an outside part to it that it was updated with because it was old, and it was put on show. It was not for use. You then, so like this story essentially ends with the fact that as this thing is up, they put it up, people are betting on it, and then it vanished. No one knew where it went. No one knew how this could have happened. They didn't think it was the staff itself. They were pretty sure by the end of it that someone had figured out how to steal this staff, and it was essentially a heist operated by some sort of thief or group of thieves. And that was it. No one knew who did it. And never seem to have found that out. You have now witnessed the Staff of Power, and then you go down another set of books and things. This takes you probably all day until eventually you find some information on the Staff of Power. And it is the Staff of Power, which I think is in the DMG, in that it is a very rare staff that must be attuned by a sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. It has 20 charges and can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff that grants a +2 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls. It is you get a +2 bonus to AC, saving throws, and spell attacks with it. And while holding the staff, you can cast one of the spells from this table from it. It also has a bunch of different like magical reactions. The spells that are held within this thing are Cone of Cold, Fireball, Globe of Invulnerability, Hold Monster, Levitate, Lightning Bolt, Magic Missile, Ray of Enfeeblement, and Wall of Force. So it has these like crazy spells in it. It's just a super powerful arcane staff.
I have encountered this item in a different game.
It is that item. It's the same one.
So I know how busted this thing is, but Rio did not. Now he does.
Yeah.
I wanted to at least in character have some justification for why I am very afraid of that item, because we should very much be afraid of that item. It is terrifying.
Yeah, you get the sense that it's some of the reason that Nisus is so like confident with you guys being just around him, you know, like, and he didn't. You couldn't tell with him probably like how many tricks he had up his sleeve, but he wasn't particular. Like he didn't really go to a great deal of effort to keep you locked down or separated or whatever. There was a point where all four of you were just standing right in front of him, and you get the sense that it could be, that some of that self-confidence is coming from the fact that he's wielding ridiculous. He's got a nuclear weapon, like he's got a nuclear deterrent in his hands.
He's got the codes.
Yeah. So you learn this information over the course of the next day or two.
Yeah, there's definitely a camera shot of Rio with a blank piece of paper and a quill pen, and he's like copying this stuff down. And then leaving the original book back in the library and thanking the Gesto employees for their assistance in finding it, but then like taking that paper back and showing it to Alinys and being like, if we have to fight this guy, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, we are.
Speaking of Alinys,
oh my God, the way my sorry, you were like
the way you're what?
I was gonna say the way my asshole puckered because he said speaking of, and I thought he was gonna be like speaking of the danger. Sorry.
I am speaking of the danger. I'm speaking of the danger, which is Alinys, who is
yes, it's true. I am the most dangerous person in the party.
The Beyblade.
Beyblade.
Activate Beyblade. So what did you roll on your medicine check for Brula?
12.
Okay, so Brula's condition has significantly advanced. I think you're pretty aware at this point. You get the sense that she is at least at sort of a stage 3 or 4 situation, with stage 9 being certain death. But basically, people are essentially gone by 7, because that's when the sort of identity collapse element of this really takes hold. So while the person is kind of alive, the person who they are is kind of pretty gone by that point. They become infectious around stage 8, as far as you're aware, or as far as both of you are aware, and in general people would be aware, but specifically you two have been working with the Healers Guild for several months, so you have this kind of information. From what you can make out, essentially, Brula is at around stage 4 or 5 because of what these stages represent. And for the sake of everyone, we do have a handout for the players, but I will read to people in here what some of these stages are.
Can I ask, are the stages like distinct insofar as once you've moved to stage, like say, because I know that she's displaying some symptoms of like stage 5, does that mean she is fully stage 5, or is she kind of like in the process of moving to stage 5? Or?
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell on a 12, which is why you're kind of like it's in and around this area. I'll tell you why you're leaning towards 5, and it's as we move through these, you'll probably pick up on it anyway. The first stage is essentially people will get a little insomnia. They'll start to struggle to sleep, and then they get some skin discoloration. You'll get dark blotches or toughened bits of skin that sort of appear, which Brula has got in a couple of areas, significantly on the back of the hand, which we revealed was secretly in the artwork all along, and has obviously been struggling with sleeping, which the two of you would know. There's like another stage where at night during a rest, sleep, or a trance state, if you're an elf or of elven lineage, people, they get kind of paranoid. They get a bit disquieted. They start sort of feeling like there's something in the shadows, and you have to kind of calm the patients down. And the two of you have dealt with patients up to this point, so I think you're aware of this. And also, these are all of the the notes that you would have had access to, which anyone can have access to from the Healers Guild head, which is Driga Penebras. So it's like trusted source here. The third stage is when the patient's skin starts to get kind of chitinous and tough. They start developing kind of like a carapace, a bit like an insect. So the areas where the skin was sort of discolored become very tough. There is enough, you can sit with it literally makes you physically tougher and stronger, sometimes at the risk of losing some dexterity. This actually literally provides Brula with a +1 to AC, by the way. There are legit mechanical things that have been happening. I love that you just found that out. You've had it for fucking months.
Hey, don't forget who you're talking to.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just over here like,
You're like, don't
hey,
forget
Brula,
who you're
how
talking
you doing?
to. What's my character's name?
Gonna just show up and put my arm around Brula and be like, how you doing? Let me get real close to you, infect myself. +1 AC, right?
Well, your con score goes down by 2. In the disquiet phase, in your disquiet phase, you lose. You get disadvantage on perception checks made during long rests. So if you were to do them during like a what is it called when everyone has a turn at looking out? Someone is on
Travel
watch.
checks?
Watch. Yeah.
Yep.
So during that, you might not be the best. Your long rests also take an extra 2 hours to complete. The thing that happened way back towards the beginning, where, if you remember, there was a night where Brula just did not gain the effects of a long rest, is also part of stage 1 of this thing. So if you roll very low on a con save, you just do not get the effects of a long rest because you had a night of insomnia. Stage 4 is sort of a general fatigue, which I think you've noticed on Brula over the last few days in and around Sonentor. While everyone's been having a good time, Brula's been doing a good job of it, I think, but been kind of gassing out quicker than everyone and just been like putting on a brave face, and everyone's having a great time and enjoying it, and so is she. But you can tell that she's much more tired. That she's normally like the life of the party. She's got a lute out on ocarina. She's up on the stage and dancing a jig and stuff. But you notice that she's definitely much more tired. This is awful because your maximum hit points are reduced.
Nope.
The original had that all concentration checks are made with disadvantage at this point as well, but you don't actually have that. And then stage 5, which is maybe the thing that like pops into your brain with the way that she's moving around today, is that with the malaise and the tiredness and stuff that you've noticed, there's a confusion that comes with the 5th part the fifth stage of this, where they start beginning to feel a slight disconnect from their own sense of self. It's something known as depersonalization in like modern psychological terms, and this starts to cause the patient to become quite confused. And there's just this element to the way that Brula's been moving around the last few hours of today, I think, where she's mentioned that she's a little confused, or you look over, she's kind of spaced out and just kind of a little like floaty. You bring her back and stuff like that. And I think that is what maybe triggers the part of you that's like, oh, you know, this could be, she could already be at stage 5 here.
I would like to do something then.
Okay.
So first of all, I think Alinys will gesture for Brula to follow her into the kitchen, like this sort of kitchen area. And she'll reach down and sort of ruffle her hair and say, "Hey, squirrel, how you doing?"
You know, and she kind of just blanks for a second. I'm still not sure what's happening. It felt really weird earlier. I felt like I was not in my body.
Okay. What happened to bring this on? Did something change? Was it?
Maybe
And Alinys is kind of putting together.
Sleep. I don't know. I don't really remember the last time I was able to fall asleep.
Okay. I think Alinys is putting together that there was that strange experience we all had, and that maybe Brula is not in the right frame of mind to remember that exactly, but that might be what it was. Okay, look, I know we've tried a lot.
Yeah.
But would it be okay if I tried something that has kind of helped in the past?
Yeah, of course.
And I'd like to cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna kind of like, sort of like a body scan, run my hands over her first, and then take her hands, and just I would like to cast that and see if I'm thinking mechanically that maybe this is something that has had an effect in the past, and it's not something I can repeatedly do, but that maybe now because something has changed that I can.
Yeah. In how many times, Brula, I guess, do you think you will have used restoration magics to slow the ascent of this progressing disease? AKA,
how many times Brula has used it?
Yeah, how many times would you have asked a cleric, or maybe had Alinys? I mean, maybe Alinys, you can answer this as well. How many times have you used restoration magics to try and help? And how many times might you have visited healers at the Healers Guild, if at all?
I think we would have tried it at the very beginning and noticed that it didn't go away.
Yeah.
But then through research have maybe understood that it can only really slow things down. And therefore, I think anytime we've noticed a distinct change in the symptoms, that maybe we've tried it.
Okay. Roll me an Arcana check, Alinys.
Uh-oh. Okay. Damn, that nat 20 was right there. That's
Nice.
an 8.
Okay, you have anything to re-roll that or add to that?
I don't think I do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you so you cast Lesser Restoration here, which does have an effect. So some of the magical prevention for Void Blight Plague is that Lesser Restoration removes one stage. It can't take it from stage 1 to 0.
Right.
Greater Restoration removes 2 stages, and then the spell Regenerate removes 2 stages. Once a stage has been removed, if it's regained, that stage cannot be removed by a spell again. So you can get to stage 5, then cast Lesser Restoration, go back to stage 4, essentially is what it seems to do for the patient. And then once they get back to however long it takes to get to stage 5 again, you wouldn't be able to use it to remove that stage again. So this should work to bring her back from, if she's at stage 5 back to stage 4, if she's at stage 4 back to stage 3, because I don't think since the beginning of this campaign, she was at 1-2 for the beginning of this campaign.
Yeah.
So in the period of time that we've been playing, which I think in-game time is about a month since episode 1, not our pre-show stuff. I don't think you've done any of this to slow the
I think
encroaching
Alinys's understanding of it would be that from the research that they have done together, and maybe Alinys has done on her own, that she'll maybe realize that she can't just keep doing this over and over and over again and have some effect on it. So this is one of those, like, something has changed significantly and I want to try and slow this down.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Because this thing isn't just a plague, it isn't just a curse, it isn't just some sort of bizarre like the thing that they originally thought it was. They thought it was just a simple, like, demonic corruption type thing that would be able to be removed by divine means. And essentially scholars and clerics and everything are coming together and realizing that it's not as simple as that. A simple 1/1 spell doesn't seem to clear it, but it does in part. They're able to find different slowing preventative measures. This, give me another medicine check as you cast this spell.
$11.
Okay. You can only hope that this worked.
Oh, was that my? Did I? That was me trying to identify if I had done it.
Kinda.
Oh no, my roll's been so bad today.
Yeah. So the next few days pass, and Brula seems to just be a little better, a little worse here, a little this, little that. You guys are resting, so you're not doing anything particularly intense. So maybe Brula feels a little better for that, but
She definitely feels more comfortable.
Cool.
It's Alinys.
Something.
Nice wording.
Yeah.
Diplomatic.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, this is where you're at with those checks. We have now come to the point where I think we should do the tooth checks.
Okay.
The dentist checks.
I don't know how I'm supposed to continue after that. Heartbreaking.
It's horrible, yeah.
It's horrible.
So let's do your Did you roll your investigation check?
I did.
Yeah.
21.
And this was, so you're using the goggles. Remind me of the goggles powers.
Yep. Let me pull it up so I can read it exact. Once per day, the wearer can enter a state of heightened understanding for 10 minutes. During this time, they have advantage on all intelligence and wisdom checks related to identifying or understanding the function and operation of magical items, constructs, and traps.
Okay. And you rolled a 21.
That's right.
All right. Let me scroll. Okay. So, after 2 days, towards the end of another day, so let me just make sure I am aware of the date here. Okay, so we've gone 2 days ahead. Towards the end of day 2, you start understanding some stuff about this device, finally, in a way that isn't just the quick glances of what is it, what's going on with it, randomly just sort of attempting to just activate it and stuff like that you've been doing on the road. You already know at this point a few things about it. You know what it's made out of. You understand that it is kind of a part Faraday cage. It's sort of an armillary sphere, which is an astronomical instrument that allows you to understand longitude, latitude, but on a celestial level, on a planar level as well. It seems to be able to be, it's operating on dimensions outside of simply the material plane. And now that you can sit down with it and just really study it and figure it out, and with the help of these goggles, which are wondrous things that are enhanced as well, it really does help to you sort of become like a weird arcane version of like Tony Stark, where he just has like this machine that is informing his own answers and his own conclusions. The goggles are somehow allowing you to just focus in on the right parts at the right time. And you start to make out what looks kind of like the information that is coming up to you from this thing starts looking more like a travel map than anything else. It doesn't, you're kind of like approaching this thing like, how does it work? What is it? What the fuck is going on with this thing? And the information and the data and the way that you're interfacing with this, you're like, this thing is just a map. It isn't even like, it just doesn't seem like a device. If you were to pull your Via coil out and look at it, it's just basically a wrist-mounted crossbow, which is able to fire at a higher velocity and produce like an arcane burst of energy. That's all it does. It's just enhancing something. The Vianthracite in this is allowing it to do a hell of a lot, but the information inside of it starts presenting itself in a way that feels like a map to you. And you start piecing together kind of strange arcane data, weird sigils and runes that are constantly changing. It looks probably to us in a cinematic way like letters raining across the inside of this device as you're moving through it and interfacing with it over a montage of 2 days. The information starts to resemble something like an old navigational chart to you. It makes absolutely no geographical sense, but that is the data that is presented to you from this thing. You're looking at this thing and starting to piece together that it is a bizarre kind of data map that is showing distance, and it's showing how to explore planar travel. It looks like to you like a subway map, like a network of different ways that you can potentially travel. Each plane can only be accessed sort of one at a time, and you can only get to planes that are further away from the plane that you're on by going through other planes. You can't just zip from plane A to plane C. In order to get to C, you have to go from plane A to plane B to plane C. There's different nuances to this. Fire and ice do not border one another. Shadow borders ash, and then this completely indescribable plane that doesn't make any sense to you. There's something that you recognize as the Feywild. You understand with this 21 some elements of planar travel for whatever research you've done, whatever devices you've appraised before, whatever is going on with this. You understand some of the information around some of the planes. You know that the Feywild exists. You know there's a plane of fire. You know there's a plane of ice. You know there's a plane of ash. There's a plane of shadow. You understand this kind of element that is inside of this, which is this other thing that Nisus mentioned, that this demon Mara covers of chaos sitting between everything, and it's moving constantly like planar blood. And this device is literally just a map. Amongst other things, the first thing that comes to you is that you recognize the way that you were going wrong with this thing was just kind of just believing it was like just a time machine. You hit a button and you just zip to wherever it goes or whatever. It is a map first, and it is literally looking to you as if the first thing it's doing, the lost second, is constantly tracking, updating, and producing information for 8 different planes at any one time. That is the end of day 2. if you would like to continue, it is another intelligence check, or we can see if there's anything else the group wants to do at the, between day 2 and 3 onwards.
Are you all okay if I just go ahead and go again?
Go for it.
Okay.
All right. This is the next 3 days.
Oh dear. 16.
Ooh. You begin understanding that the way that this device is built, in the first thing being that you understand and begin to calculate the cartography of how it's approaching its data. You sort of recognize that you have to, and it's at this point I think what Twoof is doing are these like crazy calculations now. While I'm just divulging information to you, what Twoof is actually doing here is like extreme mathematical temporal calculation. You're having to begin calculating these bizarre relationships, and the only way you can do it is like numbers, and it's very similar to how they would navigate ships. It's how they do space travel and stuff. It's that same kind of set of vector alignments and bizarre calibrations, and then you're bringing in the planar map data, the cartography, to understand and navigate the where the dimensions are connecting. You understand now like what the armillary sphere is doing. This sort of strange mechanism is, and the reason it can't be turned off is it is relentlessly, impossibly, constantly calculating these positions. You then have to start keeping up with it and start figuring out how to use it and what the mechanisms in there are doing. What are all of these different planes? There are 8 planes on here, but you don't even know which ones are which. You're having to sit and go, well, this set of data must be us on the material plane. Then you recognize that this one must be a different one. This one must be a different one. This one must be a different one. And then you use that information to determine names for them. There's the plane of ice, the plane of fire, the plane of ash, the plane of shadow, the Feywild, our material plane, and then something that can only be the void space, which is kind of pressing in on Vayfall. It is what is causing the blight. There was a rift that was opened 60, 70 years ago, directly west of where you are in Sonantor, in the now blighted lands, which just opens up into a different space. And that information is what is being calculated through this thing, along with the other information, including, and this isn't one of the planes, but the information that is chaos sitting between them. Once you recognize at first that it's just constantly tracking and updating and producing the information, you, for all of those planes, plus trying to calculate for chaos as well, you start mapping these planes yourself, recognizing that these are the closest planes to the material plane, and that 7 of these planes do not experience time in the same linear way that the material plane does. The lost second, when activated, temporarily allows the users to sort of dilate time using the laws of time on one of the other 7 planes to manipulate the relative law of time on the material plane to allow you to move across the timeline here. It essentially just puts a bubble around you. The Feywild's perpetually at dusk, and you could go to the Feywild for 500 years and come back here and only 5 minutes have passed. It's twisting that, it's using that, and you're zipping forward. A second of time passes for you. Using the laws of a different plane, it brings you back to a different time here. You're essentially just in a pocket dimension, but you're also kind of just in the Feywild every time you use the lost second, and then you come back. Or you're in the plane of ash, or you're in void space, whatever it is. This thing is calculating it completely differently. But it's constantly calculating it so that whenever it's activated, it can just do that. That seems to be what Alden has built, at least from what you're able to determine. The rings on the armillary design are the sort of spatial adjacency and then the temporal adjacency, and it's constantly moving. That's why it's always spinning and always turning over one another. So your destination might be the material plane 731 years from now. You can't just travel across the material plane for 731 years. This thing essentially allows you to understand something that I think this is where and you only just get this breakthrough here, is that time possesses weight in the material realm, and in the Feywild it possesses direction. In the Sea of Chaos it doesn't use either, and all of these different things are being calculated by the Lost Second. The actual way to plan a route through time, the Lost Second calculates a route from the material plane across multiple planes of existence. So it doesn't just use one. It will activate material plane. It will calculate where you are across chaos. It will calculate where you are in the Feywild for a short amount of time. It will use the directional flow of time in the Feywild to create a temporal hold across all of you, allow you to travel to the destination in the same way you might travel from plane to plane. So it's the same as if you've literally traveled, you're doing planar travel. It releases the temporal hold, and then you remain on the material plane. So you now understand literally basically the science behind this arcane device and how it works. It's essentially a planar travel almost every time you're using it. The data doesn't, the sort of navigational data doesn't make sense on the material plane because it's not one map, it is just several maps projected on top of each other at all times, and you're just being held in like quantum suspension between them. Roll me another investigation check here. We'll do the last couple days.
T- 23.
You figure out how to activate it. You, through understanding this device, you now have the ability to activate it with an action. It doesn't mean it won't activate randomly. It's still unstable. This thing has always been unstable because it's an insane creation. You do not fully understand everything about it at this point. You suspect that even Alden didn't understand everything about it when he gave you the thing. And it still definitely needs to be stabilized. It is an absolutely insane device, and it could easily just destroy the world probably. It's holding 8 different planes of energy plus this completely like X chaos. Like there's just and every calculation has X in it, which is just, you have to account for chaos. It's just horrible to try and figure out how this thing is working. It's so unbelievably unstable that it's ridiculous. But it, as soon as Alden turned it on, began existing in all of those 8 planes at once. It is most significantly linked to the material plane and then whatever plane it's using at that time. So wherever you're locating each thing. So depending on when you activate it or when it activates, it will also be pulling from a completely different plane. But it essentially just is on. The reason you can't turn it off is because you have to turn it off in like all 8. Kind of impossible. Or like the reason that it can't be destroyed is you could kind of destroy it in the material plane, but it still exists in 7 others at the same time, so it would just reappear. It's not like really reappearing, it's just that it's in superposition. You can't just destroy it in one. You'd have to destroy it in all 8. Even then it'd be really hard to do because the thing is made really well. It's insanely difficult to just destroy this kind of adamantine metal and stuff. But that's kind of the gist of like what you understand. But you essentially now have the ability to manually activate it at any point. That being said, roll me a d10.
Oh no.
Is that what I think it is?
It's a 1.
All right.
Oh boy.
Should we come back?
You
Should we hold a seance?
at the end of 7 days, you guys have all had this kind of this week of downtime. You've done some exploring, you've done some this, you've done some that. But you know, for the most part, you've been just having some time to relax. A week off after the month you've had is not really a huge amount, so I think it's a lot of resting. The spas are immediately outside. There is a point, Twoof, where towards the end of this, I guess the reason that you learn how to activate it is that you activate it, and it activates. All 4 of you are doing whatever you're doing when this thing activates in the other room.
I think I'm cooking.
What time of day? What time of day does this go off?
This is at the end of 7 days, so let's just say it's like 8 p.m. because that is an exact like 7 days spread. So we're just going to stick with it being about 8 p.m.
Yeah, Brula's probably practicing her instrument, like guitar.
Okay.
8 in the evening. I think I spent the last few days at the Coliseum playing ball because I had nothing else left to do, and I was like, I'm gonna go play sports. So in the evenings, I'm probably just recovering from rough games.
Yeah.
So I'm just lounging around, sore muscles, like sitting on the couch.
Drinking a protein shake.
Yeah, like, Twoof, did you figure that and as I see it start glowing.
Yeah. All 4 of you.
Most of the time, I've just been like muttering to myself, like it's, or not myself, but it sounds like I'm having a conversation with both the goggles and the a lost second. And I know Brad was saying lots of math, but I assume that it's okay if Twoof, it still interprets that as whatever the item is saying.
I don't care how you interpret
there
it.
might
but
be,
like,
okay,
yeah,
right.
Whatever it is.
Okay, so it really just
You get
sounds
it.
like that. And then all of a sudden there's silence for a long time, and then, oh, oops.
I hear the oops, and I think I go, what? And I possibly, do I see anything? If I look
there's that classic like whirring up and then a burst of purple light. It's less than a second because then a second passes and that's the second that you
No,
lose.
I think I look over my shoulder and I've just let go of the teacup.
Yeah, it falls to the ground like slow-mo for and the shot is us watching the teacup fall, and all 4 of them are in the background, just they're gone. And then the teacup hits the ground and spills out. There is like steam rising up from this teacup. 1 minute later you come back. You don't experience anything horrific. It's just and then you have that horrible sensation of like time looping over itself and rewriting itself, and then you're back. And it is in that moment, Twoof, that you go, got it, figured it out. I know how to activate it. I don't know everything about it. I know everything that I've just learned. But you now, if you need to, you can activate this thing.
Follow-up question, because I know that it's pulling from certain dimensions or planes to get a... What did that one feel like?
With that, you can give me an investigation check.
Yes. Okay. Do I still have advantage with the goggles?
Yeah.
Or no? Okay.
Well, they're activated for like 10 minutes or whatever, right?
They are. 24.
24. Fuck it. Let's see here. It's 8 p.m.
Uh-huh.
Pretty cold. Plain of ice.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, did when we went to the end of time or the other traveling, did any of those feel like that? Or did they all feel pretty different?
A couple of them probably felt the same. I don't know now at this point.
Okay.
I would, but your general question is it always pulling from the same thing? And they're all,
No,
it's always different.
No,
It's
I
not
know
always
that.
different, but it is often different.
I'm trying to figure out if it's related to distance, how far we're going in time.
Oh, okay. 24? No.
Okay.
The lost second just needs to pull from the one that aligns best with
At that time,
with
at that
time.
specific moment.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow.
So it's like alignment of planets type stuff.
Okay.
You know, you need to get to Mars. You gotta wait till we're facing Mars.
With the right weather at the.
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's chaos that's in control of a lot of that. The next thing I need, unfortunately, is 2 more checks from Brula. The first one being a Constitution saving throw.
No. Okay. Okay. Big money. 17 for the con saving throw.
17 is good. Roll me another one, please.
And another 17.
Okay.
2 17s.
Yeah. No excessive change over this week until the lost second activates. When you come back, you feel horrible after this turn. The sensation is extremely obvious to you, Brula, that you've just done this burst forward in time. The 4 of you come back. The steam is still rising up from your cup, Alinys, as you look at this thing. Rio's like, he was like trying to rest and like maybe kind of almost rolls off of a chair or off of the bed. Twoof kind of does this thing of like, oh, wait, I've got it. I figured out how to activate it. Wait, which plane is that pulling from? Is it pulling from the plane? I think it was pulling from the plane of ice. But we have this like moment where like we all see Brula and our camera just focuses on you because your plague situation progresses, and it is instant and immediate for you that because
Oh my God.
only 1 second passes, you feel a horrible sense of like overwhelming sickness that passes over you. And when we come back to seeing Brula, I think Brula, you are kind of out of it. There is a pretty noticeable change, Alinys, in Brula. Brula, you are at stage 6. Which is the unrest stage. You have this immediate, instant sense of incredible sickness that passes over you. There is a deep malaise that falls over Brula. You are probably, when you come back from this, in a kind of fugue state for a little while. There is this horrible sound of chittering that you can't remove. Everyone else is reacting. Alinys is kind of across the room like, oh, the cup, and Rio's up like, what happened, Twoof? Did it activate? And Toof's kind of like, hold on, I'm onto something. But for you, there's just this horrible chittering sound. And then there's this bizarre sensation on your back. It feels as though you have wings, but it also feels like you're being constricted in this tight space. Across your vision, there are these flashes of purple light that don't stop, kind of like an after image if you kind of look at the sun or a glare. You feel incredibly sick, a little confused. It feels to you like you're waking up from like a deep sleep rather than the traditional like 1 second of bizarre turning over feeling. And you feel significantly worse after this thing activates this time. The last 2 times this thing has activated, it felt like it's punched you out of your body, And when you came back, you felt worse. And this time, it just feels like it actively made you significantly unwell. A strange chittering sound quietens out, and then fades into the background. But you get the sense it's not really gone.
Brula's just sitting there breathing heavily like...
I think Alinys will immediately rush over. Brew, are you okay?
And she takes your face in her hand and it's like, wow, you're so warm.
Yeah. And I press the back of my hand to her forehead. Does she feel hot, cold?
Roll me a medicine check.
Okay. I'm on fire today. An 11.
Yeah, your medicine checks are they rolling correctly? Yeah.
No, they are. I'm just rolling a 5 every time on the D20.
Her body temperature perfectly matches the room around you. It's weird. It's noticeable.
I think my hand recoils just in, oh. How do you feel?
You see her just like swallow and not really like, I'm hearing some weird noises.
What?
Almost like a bug or something.
Okay. Okay.
There's nothing in here, is there?
No,
and then she looks
there's
around.
nothing. There's nothing. You're okay.
I don't think I'm okay.
I've got you.
And she kind of like leans into you and you can feel her like shiver just a little bit.
And I put my arms around you and I look at the other two.
And I in turn to look at Twoof in response.
Twoof,
And I ask,
roll me,
I gotta ask
roll me
the
an
million.
intelligence check.
I gotta ask Twoof the $1 million question. Can you use it to go back, or is it still only forward?
Brula, are you
Give me the
okay?
investigation check, Tooth.
You see Brula kind of sitting there just like looking real out of it.
When you activate this thing, it is going to send you forward in time. As far as you can tell, it can only go forward in time, but you've not really calculated that side of this device yet. But you are also hyper aware that in part this thing is killing Brula.
Yeah.
Twoof, I don't think we can do that again.
Brula, are you okay?
And she looks at you and, you know, she's really, really trying to like focus on your face. I'm here.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you don't have anything to apologize for. It's just that's feeling weird when we go forward.
I reach out and I take your hand with my clawed hand, and I touch it to the lost second. I think you should unattune.
Okay. And she very sleepily, you take her hand and it's very weak. There's no resistance. And she puts it on the last second and says, I unattune. And that effort alone, she just like
Alinys
passes out into Alinys.
If she's close enough, I'll just catch her, unless Allie's right there also.
I think I'm holding her, but Alinys will look at Twoof and say, please don't send me where I will be separated from her.
I would never, but it's unstable. It could go on its own. I know how to activate it, and I won't. But it could activate on its own. That don't. I think the best thing we could have maybe done for everyone and this is to just one of us stay at the end of time with it forever. And I hold it out to you, Ellie. I don't even hesitate.
I put my hand on it. I on a tune.
But gotta listen to my shit. But when you look